What is going on, everybody? Happy Wednesday. Hope you're having a great week. Big episode today. As you all know, we have amazing guests on this show. And then sometimes we have the Bachelor. And I don't mean me because, hey.
No longer.
The current Bachelor, Peter Weber, will join us today.
Pilot Pete.
Ready
for takeoff.
We are. We're going to really get to know Pete this episode.
Mm-hmm. Get to know his heart.
Get to know his heart.
His truth.
Why does he make the decisions that he makes?
Why does he love girls that cry?
Why does he love girls that cry? But no, we'll have some fun. We'll get to know Pete. Hopefully, we'll have conversations with Pete that he hasn't been asked 30,000 times yet.
Yeah, he's everywhere.
And been asked questions that, quite honestly, doesn't have the ability to probably be totally honest.
Right.
Or even answer.
Right.
Let other people do
But
it.
he doesn't get to have a conversation with many people who have been in the exact
same
circumstances he's in right now.
I hope you guys enjoy what is sure to be an incredible episode. Well, it's episodes like these we like to remind people who no doubt are tuning in to listen to Pete, and we're probably getting some new audience people. Check us out. We are here 3 days a week. We are doing Bachelor recaps that drop after the episodes. We are doing on Monday's episodes, we do our Ask Nick episodes where our audience members will call in, share some of their dating stories, life stories, very intimate stories. We do appreciate the people who do call in, and I tell them what to do. It's incredible. I don't know. They seem to listen, but honestly, people seem to enjoy it. So check us out. We appreciate you doing that. But other than that, yeah, should we just get to Pete?
Oh, I can't wait.
Let's do it. Peter Weber, how are you?
I am good, man. I'm surviving.
Thanks for coming.
Yeah.
You seem a little stressed.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Definitely a little bit stressed.
However, why, Peter?
I don't know. I just
anything going on in your life these days?
It's I don't think I ever expected to, I guess, have this many opinions about my love life. I knew I was gonna go on to be the Bachelor. People are gonna have opinions, but this is insane.
It's a very hard job.
It is.
Yeah.
And you can't I remember asking you for advice, and you gave me great advice. I asked Ben, I asked Colton, but unless you actually go through it yourself and do it, it's like a whole new world that you really ever can't completely prepare for.
I remember, it was probably Ben too, Chris Soules. I remember before I was the Bachelor, and before I was the Bachelor, I was, I took second twice. I had very traumatic experiences, and and I felt like I've gone, I felt like, oh yeah, this is really hard for me. And then anytime like Chris or Ben would be like, yeah, but dude, you don't know, being the Bachelor. And I'd always be like, yeah, no, you don't know what it's like for me. Yeah. And then I was the Bachelor, this is impossible.
Dude, it is literally impossible. It's never a good idea to date 30 women at once. And it doesn't get easier. And the emotion, literally for me, the physical turmoil I had to go through as well. It was
And then I'm pretty sure I told you, well, I'm glad you finished that impossible task, but going through it while it's airing is also equally
whole new beast
as impossible. Is it living up to its expectations?
It's actually a lot harder watching this back for me. It was easier going through it because there was so much I didn't know, and there was so much information I just was not privy to. Watching it back for me has actually been a way harder than I ever thought it'd be.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
I mean, I'm sure you remember from your experience, there just is legit so many conversations and interactions between the women that I'm making decisions in the moment based off the information I have, and I'm not making dumb decisions on purpose. And I know everyone thinks I am, and everyone thinks I'm just being indecisive. And yeah, there was a lot of indecision, but that's what you get when you date so many women at once.
Look, I've gone on record. For the life of me, I have no idea why anyone, especially the women in the house, were mad about the Alea situation.
Yeah.
No one else has to get engaged.
That was tough for me.
No one else has to get engaged but you.
Right.
I mean, not that you have to, but no one has the expectation of picking someone. They can all leave whenever. It's all fine. So,
well, and to be completely fair, they didn't show this part necessarily in the show, but I made it very clear, the women didn't have to be there. When they kind of confronted me in Cleveland about bringing Alea back, and again, I totally understand their frustration. I'm not trying to be naive to that. I totally get it, but I'm here having a very difficult task of having to make these decisions, and yes, they were expressing their frustration with me, but if they didn't want to be there, I didn't want them there. And I only want someone here that actually wants to pursue something with me. And, if I were to piss someone off to the point they didn't want to be there, then like, I'm not holding you here. Like, you can leave, and, that was just a tough week for me for sure.
Yeah,
very difficult.
I bet. Did you ever, when you watch it back, do you have different points of view of some of the women, and what you got to know in person versus watching it back and seeing some of the conversations they had with each other that, like, as a bachelor, you're not privy to?
Yeah. What conversation really didn't sit well with me was the stuff between Tammy and Kelsey, and seeing that kind of interaction go back and forth when I canceled that cocktail party in Costa Rica. That was BS, to be honest. Like, I don't stand for that at all. And Tammy calling out Kelsey that way and accusing her of that kind of stuff, I don't stand for. And I definitely, I remember my interactions with Tammy. I enjoyed them. I thought, I definitely admired her, and I still do. She's a super hardworking person, has a lot of amazing qualities, but seeing her, the way she kind of attacked Kelsey, and talked with Sydney, that's stuff I didn't like.
No, I felt like she was unraveling a little bit. Yeah, she seemed like, up until that point, she seemed like a pretty cool hang, maybe not your person.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, she was just like looking for things. It's just like, you didn't button up your shirt. I'm telling Peter, you were telling Peter.
I know.
Like, what? You didn't pack. I'm telling Peter. Like, I don't chill out.
Yeah, I just feel like she was like on the attack mode a little bit.
And so we have remaining Kelsey, Hannah Ann, Victoria F, and Madison. Great picks.
Yeah.
I'm a fan of them all.
And this is why
I like Kelsey.
Yeah. And but these four, like, I feel very good about. And this is also like people that they were like, oh, he's so indecisive. But like, I kind of knew, there was a good chance they're gonna be in the top four.
Peter might not be able to say this, but like, you really care about your top four. Yeah. And you probably have a pretty good idea who your top four is for most of the time. Not always. It can be variable. So, but to that point, you're very protective of that. And some of the other things that happen, whatever. Let's just go with it.
But I don't even think anyone that's being realistic and watching this show shouldn't be confused or surprised by that. Any human being is obviously not going to be all in on all 30 people. You're going to hopefully give everyone a chance, but anyone's attracted to a smaller group of possibly 30. And so I'm not afraid to admit that. I'll fully admit that. And that's why I wasn't worried about a lot of the drama going through.
Bark. Still. One of the more fascinating friends of show.
Yeah, test your dog.
Test your dog.
Your dog's DNA.
Find out more. We are big advocates of rescuing dogs.
Yes.
And often, almost always in those cases, you don't have a lot of knowledge about the history of your dog.
It's a
the
mystery.
Breed of your dog.
Yeah.
Is it a purebred? Is it a mix? How old is your dog?
Yeah. What health concerns might it have?
What health concerns might you have that you need to address and be proactive?
Yeah.
Well, Embark will help you do that.
So our producer, Nick and I both don't have dogs, but our producer tested his dog, Bubby, and found out she was super old. She's 100% beagle. And he learned a lot of information that he then took to the vet so that the vet could be clued in on what's going on with
so we could extend the life of the beautiful beagle. I think it's amazing. So right now, Embark has an exclusive offer you can't get anywhere else. Go to embarkvet.com now. And use promo code VIALL to save 15% off your dog DNA test kit. Visit embarkvet.com and use promo code VIALL to save. REM Rise.
REM Rise. Listen, if you're having trouble sleeping at night, I highly recommend you try REM Rise. Why? Because it helped me.
You heard it here first. No, it really is great.
So Nick and I, we both took this quiz online to find out how you sleep. And we were both fitful sleepers, unsurprisingly.
Yeah.
They come in all these packets. You take one packet a night and it basically resets your clock. So for me, I kept waking up at 3 a.m. and staying awake for 2 hours. That's not sustainable. REM Rise basically like reset that clock for me. And now I just sleep through the night.
And I got to say, ever since she's been using it, Rochelle's been more of a delight.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Nick.
So she's really, thank you, REM Rise, for that.
Oh, God.
Do what I did and Rochelle and check out REM Rise today. Go to remrise.com/VIALL. Take their sleep quiz. And when you sign up, you'll get 25% off your first month of REM Rise. You won't find an offer like this anywhere else. Get 25% off your first month of REM Rise when you sign up at getremrise.com/VIALL. Getremrise.com/VIALL. Quite honestly, you seem, I think you're doing a better job of giving more. I think you have more of an open heart than most bachelors have, which is why, unfortunately, you're getting some of the flack that you're getting, because it seems as, like, again, it's a winless battle being the bachelor sometimes.
Yeah.
This indecisiveness, I think, is coming from this, you truly seem to be open and giving a lot of these relationships a fair shot, where other leads, especially myself, you lock into a couple early on and you're like, yeah, this is my person, and you just kind of, you're basing your decisions off of that. So
I did my best, to truly give everyone a chance. And I can honestly say that, but me also just being honest, I also did have my top front runners that maybe interchanged a couple times, in the top 4, 5, 6, but.
And like you said, that's totally human.
That's human. No one can complain. That's the truth.
Also, in a short period of time, you want that to be true.
Right.
To the point where, for all the reasons you might be getting criticism now about indecisiveness, it's like you need to have a pretty good idea pretty early on of who your favorites are.
Yeah. I mean, this is it's a 2-month experience. You can't, if you kind of don't have that idea early on, how realistically can this really work,
Well, Peter, I think you're doing a bang-up job.
Was Victoria P ever one of those top 4 in your mind?
Yes.
Oh.
Actually, yeah. And again, that's why I'm saying, like, it wasn't maybe till week 4 or 5 that they kind of really started to solidify for me. But man, I had that first one-on-one with Victoria P, and I was like, wow, this girl's got me right here.
You seem very into her.
I was, and that was super unfortunate with all the just the Alea stuff, her and Victoria P, and I still never really got to the bottom of it, I
really loved it. Sorry.
Neither. I didn't like, what?
I mean, to a detriment to you, you're like, I hear her talking. I see what she's saying. You're just like so confused. And I'm like, it's called lying.
But like, why? Why not just be honest and tell me that you guys know each other? Why are you hiding that? The previous season, Hannah and Caitlin knew each other.
Maybe you can add some clarity, because here's what I didn't understand. Back to that fight, is that it seemed like Alea got sent home. There was it seemed like all the girls were basically picking on her, and the final straw that broke the camel back, and you're like, I don't know what Alea was. It seemed like Victoria P accused her of lying about those two knowing each other. Right. And then all of a sudden, the next episode, it was Alea's like, no, we fucking know each other. And Victoria P was like, yeah, but barely. And then it's like, it would seem like it switched. Were you as confused as I was when that was going down?
I had a conversation with Victoria P outside of the pool party. She's like, I've known Alea for 15 minutes. Those were her exact words to me. We met one time at a pageant, beauty pageant competition. We'd known each other for 15 minutes. That's it. And that's the truth.
Yeah.
And then I go back and I find out from Alea that they had gone to Vegas together, and that
it's all over the internet.
Yeah. I'm like, guys, I don't care about that. Just be honest.
Yeah.
Like, it's not a big deal.
Yeah. Who cares who knew each other?
You guys are friends. It's great. Like, I'm all about it.
But you know what? It's a good thing it happened, because you were very into VP.
I was.
And I'm sure she's a fine person, but in that moment, she revealed herself to be not super honest in a situation that she should have easily been honest. To your point, it's weird when people lie about things they have no real reason to lie about, because that makes you think, well, shit, this is going to be the easy part.
Right. Like, if you want to kind of be dishonest about this type of situation, like, what could you be dishonest about in the future,
Yeah.
So
totally. Well, I figured we'd spend some time trying to get to know Peter, because we have 4 women left. We don't know who's going to pick. I got to say, thank you for being right so far that no one's going to spoil it. I'm personally enjoying not knowing.
Yeah.
I've decided who I think you're going to pick.
Okay. Can we get that on record here?
Yeah, for sure. I had Peter take some personality tests. I'm convinced, and we've now discovered by watching the show, it's clear to me that your love language is words of affirmation, which you didn't agree with.
I actually didn't agree with that, no.
What did you think it was?
I've always been a very firm believer that I was physical touch and quality time. And my test...
You can be you don't have to be just once. You probably do.
Probably a mix of, a
But
couple
when
of
you
them.
filled it out, you were
Came back, quality words is what it
quality
said.
words, which is obvious to me because you're watching it back, Peter. You love a crier. And you really
I do. You know what? I do.
Yeah, that's fine. That's
all
totally
good.
fine. But all jokes aside, you can tell when you're going through this, you have this real sincere fear, which every lead does, but in your way, like of wanting this to work and having it not work. And you need validation from the women that you're falling for. And when they say it, you light up like a Christmas tree and it really makes you feel good. And that's how you feel. It's so obvious. It's just so funny.
Yeah. I mean, I remember, I guess with Kelsey, that date in Cleveland, and I remember with Kelsey, it was a unique development of our relationship. We hit on the emotional part right off the bat on that first date, and we had fun, but it wasn't like the normal progression of a relationship where you guys flirt and it's just cute and just you guys it's a very lighthearted good time. We kind of we took off right from the bat and like connected emotionally and very deep, and in a weird way that I love that. And that's a huge reason of why I connected with her so quickly and so early on. So I guess you're right. I have a soft spot in my heart for words of affirmation.
There's nothing wrong with that, Peter. You seem like you want it to be something else. I want to hear that I'm loved.
I guess, you're right.
I took it. I'm like, I'm pretty even with words of affirmation, quality time, and physical touch. Okay. And then like the other two, I forget what they are. I'm like a 0.
Acts of service and receiving gifts.
Yeah.
I'm not a gift person at all.
I'm not a gift person.
Gifts are cool, but
I don't really need you to do anything for me.
I really don't need anything for Christmas.
Well, we're going to get to what you want for Valentine's Day in a second. But also we had you take the enneagram and you are a 7.
Yes.
Rochelle, what is a 7?
The enthusiast, the busy variety-seeking type, spontaneous, versatile, acquisitive, and scattered.
I'm scattered, maybe. Yeah, that's very appropriate.
Everyone listening like, oh, well, now we know.
Why he split his head open.
Can't blame me, okay? Very spontaneous. Yeah, I relate.
What else we got here? The 7.
Basic fear is being deprived and in pain. That's what this says. I don't know what that's. Basic desire to be satisfied and content to have your needs fulfilled.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay.
You want your freedom and happiness.
Yeah. Well, he's a pilot. Needs to spread those wings if you
wings. The wind beneath my wings. I love it.
So with this new information, and then you were something else. You took some other personality test, some spiritual one.
Oh, what was the 5? What was I a 5 in? Life Path 5. I don't even know what that means though.
What is that, Julie? Julie, the person behind the curtain.
Path number 5.
I think with this information, we're gonna figure out who.
So what are you for your?
5 is the number of freedom and change, and those with the life path of 5 tend to seek freedom above all else. They are adventurers, having a restless nature, and being on the go, constantly seeking change and variety.
Yeah.
Right on, Peter.
Catch me if you can.
Definitely on the go. That's my catchphrase. Yeah. Catch me if you can. That's spot on. I'm a life path 5. I'm a number 7 enneagram, and I love quality words.
There you know. You seem really bugged about this quality words part. Like
it's words of affirmation.
Or words of affirmation.
Like you seem bugged that's what you.
No, I mean, I guess the science doesn't lie. I just legit, I love quality time. More than anything, like just, with my girl, if I could do anything, it'd just be to come home on like a Friday, Saturday night, whatever night, and just get cozy and just on the couch and just watch a movie. And that's literally what I love more than anything. So
nice.
I
think that's great. I know you talked a lot to Hannah, like a big part of your first one-on-one with Hannah Ann was about being in love before and having dating experience. I'd love to learn a little bit about the first time you were in love and the first time you got your heart broken. Yeah,
that's so I was always a very, very shy kid growing up. And I still have a lot of that shyness in me. For some reason, people don't believe me when I say that, but I really am. And
I believe that.
So my first girlfriend, I remember I was in my senior year of high school and I could not talk to girls in high school. And it was my senior year, I was going to try out for a musical, Thoroughly Modern Millie. And we did the tryout. It was the end of the fall semester, and we were going to start rehearsals during winter break, and he's going to go into the spring. And I go in and I sing Amazing Grace for my auditions. I can't sing to save my life, but I just wanted to do it for the fun of it and do a little bit of dancing. And so I somehow made it through the Amazing Grace song. And this girl, Kristen Randall, she was my first girlfriend, is standing outside and at the water fountain. And I had a crush on her, but I could never say anything to her. And I go out and she kind of like breaks the ice and finally talks to me for the first time and asks, she's like, hey, how was your song? Like, you know, how was your audition? And I froze up real quick. I didn't know how to respond. I'm like, dude, just be normal, Peter, be normal. And we just started talking, and that was kind of like my first love, like puppy dog love. Sure. You know, like I was a year above her in high school. I graduated a year before, and it was like that first, you know, real tough decision I was ever faced with, like, shoot, do I like pick a school kind of close back to home for her, or do I kind of like, you know, get out of state and whatnot? And yeah, that was kind of my first love and kind of first heartbreak that I ever had to feel, for, you know, like legit heartbreak.
Why'd you feel heartbreak from that?
Just because when I invest, like, I go 100%
Sure.
all in, and I'm proud of that. Like, I love that quality about me, but it's just, man, when it doesn't work, it destroys me. And
was that the only time you've been in love before the show?
No, I've been in love, yeah, with Kristen, and then
pre Hannah Brown.
Yeah, pre Hannah Brown. 2 other times after that.
What was the worst? What's the longest relationship you had?
About 3 years.
Oh, okay.
But that was on and off.
Sure.
That was on and off. And you want to hear a crazy story, man?
I do, Peter.
This is gonna for sure solidify number 7 or something. You guys are not gonna believe this. So can't believe I'm saying this right now, but
yes,
screw it, whatever. Give you a little taste of who Peter is, how crazy and spontaneous Peter is. So this girl I thought I was gonna marry.
Okay.
All right. I was all about her. And I kid you not, I officially asked her out on December 20th, 2014.
Gosh, she fucked you up. Like, you know, dates.
Well, you're going to understand why I know that date here. Just give me a little bit. So I asked her out December 20th, 2014. And 15 days later, we were just hanging out. And like, hey, what do you want to do tonight? I've never had a tattoo. She's never had a tattoo. Or she had gotten a tattoo like a couple weeks ago. And we're like, you want to get tattoos? Or she said that. And I was like, yeah, why not? She's like, what should we do?
I love you. We'll be together forever. This is an
Yeah,
amazing
that's what
idea.
I'm thinking. This is 15 days after we started dating. Uh-oh. And we go to this tattoo shop, and we decide to get the date that I asked her to be my girlfriend tattooed.
No.
How old are you?
Our I guess like 20.
Yeah, you're an adult.
Yeah, I'm an adult, sure, yeah. And I get the tattoo, 12/20/14, tattooed on our right hip. Both of us matching tattoos. I'm like, we're gonna be together forever.
Awesome.
And it was like 15 days, and everyone thought we were crazy. Or like, no, we're not crazy at all. And it lasts like about a year, just over a year. We're like, this is working. And then we break up, and that sucked. But we both didn't get it removed, and we get back together. Like, thank God we didn't get it removed. This is gonna work. We're gonna make it happen. And then we break up a second time. She gets hers covered up. It's not the tattoo anymore. It's like she makes like a flower thing out of it. And then I start getting like the first laser removal done, and it like that hurt like so much. And then we get back a third time. So now this like it's just messed up. So it was never gonna work. And we break up the final third time, and it's for good. And then I had to go through 7 sessions of laser removal to get this tattoo. I will never get a tattoo ever again of a matching tattoo with a girl.
Probably
unless maybe my wife.
It's well, you know.
But
Oh no.
yeah, it's crazy. That's the kind of guy I am, though. I am very passionate.
So you broke up 3 times with this person.
Yeah.
How many times? I'm gonna guess that she broke up with you twice, and then you ended it at the end.
Holy shit, you're good. Yeah, that's exactly how it went.
Well,
I never thought it'd be that way because I was so in her. Like, my heart was so invested in her. And the third time, like, thank God I got the strength to like actually just realize, no, this is not working. I need to move on. I'm surprised you got that.
Was there another girl that you met that made you think there was?
No.
Okay.
No. And it's funny. I met, who were we with yesterday in New York? The love guru guy, Matthew Hasse or something.
Oh yeah.
You know who he is?
He's I haven't met him, but he used to date Camille the singer.
Camilla.
Yeah.
Cabello. He
Nephew Hussey.
Hussey. That's who it is. Yeah. I actually met him. Super cool dude. I was so bad. I was so heartbroken through this. I couldn't really talk to anyone. Like think of a girl for like 4 or 5 months after. And
when you ended it?
Yeah, when I ended it, but I was still heartbroken.
Sure.
And I'm such a dork, man. I would literally, from my house, whenever I'd go fly a trip out of LAX, it's about a 45 minute to an hour commute. I'd put his podcasts on, How to Get Over Heartbreak, and I just listen to them on repeat. And like, that's what got me through it, but it took me forever. And it takes me a long time to get over stuff, but yeah.
She's a sweetheart. Yeah. I mean, we've had similar paths that way, especially when you're younger. Yeah. I have nothing left inside.
No heart.
But I used to be that way.
Yeah. Oh God.
Your future.
I hope this works out, Peter.
I hope it does too. Yeah, there he is.
That's great.
That guy is a genius.
Yeah, have you ever seen the movie Forgetting Sarah Marshall?
Of course. Yeah.
Great breakup movie.
Yeah, I resonated with the guy. His name's Peter in the movie.
There you go. It is.
Yeah.
And all right,
has she reached out to you since you became the Bachelor? Is she like, oh, I messed up?
I've run it. So we kind of live in the same area. I've run into her honestly only like maybe once or twice, and it's just been cordial.
More
importantly, nothing crazy.
I'm curious. Like, I'm assuming, like, when you look back, remembering how heartbroken you were about that relationship.
Yeah.
And then thinking about her now or even seeing her now, I'm guessing completely different feeling about it.
Oh, it is. And I'm that person that when I'm feeling that heartbreak, it's like, and I'm so bad. I lean on my family and my friends like crazy. And I like just will talk to them for hours about the same things. And I'll repeat it over and over.
I had one breakup, Peter, where I called my mom every morning for 6 months.
Oh, that makes me feel so much better.
Yeah.
Okay. So you know what I'm talking about.
Saints.
Our moms
on my way to work, and my mom, God bless her, she loved it because I'm calling her every morning.
I'm the exact same way.
My dad was like, dude, you gotta stop. Mom's
it just
like,
feels good to talk it out.
Yeah. Every morning. It was insane.
And it's like, it's honestly love to me. And that's why I was so grateful for to have this opportunity. Like I love so much. And it's the greatest feeling in the world that I feel like anyone can feel. But when it doesn't work out, it's one of the most miserable feelings of having to get over that. You truly feel like it's never going to get better until that day that it does. And
sure. But now that you've gone through it and like you've seen this girl, like she's in your community.
Right. It's completely different.
Listen, I wish you the best. I hope that you have found someone. I hope you're with someone, and I hope this works out.
Right.
But if, God forbid, you have to, at any point in your life, deal with heartbreak again.
Yeah.
Do you think that it will be easier for you knowing that you've survived it once already?
Yeah. I think it definitely, and it has been easier for me. I mean, she wasn't my last heartbreak. I had to, deal with stuff with Hannah Brown too. And, I think, you just get more and more resilient, that's just part of growing up and becoming, more mature, with relationships in your love life. I don't think I've ever necessarily felt that kind of pain again that I felt with her, the one from the 3 years.
Yeah.
I've had amazing relationships since then, but I think you just get more resilient.
BetterHelp. They're doing great things, helping people with their mental health. And making that a little easier and a little safer to do. And by safer, I mean sometimes it feels unsafe to have to go to get therapy and leave your place, and it can be a challenge. And you can do that from the comfort of your home. No, but seriously, I've recommended BetterHelp to a lot of my friends. They've come back and thanked me for it. Of people who have thought about getting therapy and just never did, mostly because it was like, I don't know who I should go to.
Yeah.
They will align you with a healthcare professional that's perfect for your needs. If you decide that you didn't love what they recommended, you can always switch, no problem. They make it great, wonderful. Any type of thing that you're dealing with, a breakup, anxiety,
LGBTQ
issues, any type of depression. Look into it. Give them a shot. They're doing great things, and I think it's a fantastic company, and I fully endorse. So, best of all, it is truly affordable. The Viall listeners get 10% off your first month with discount code VIALL. So why not get started today? Go to betterhelp.com/VIALL. Simply fill out a questionnaire to help them assess your needs and get matched with a counselor you'll love. That's betterhelp.com/VIALL. Well, yeah, I mean, your first one is always going to mess you up differently because you've never felt that. And that feeling of, I don't think I'll get over this, is a real feeling because you never have. You don't know what it's like.
Right.
It's a sincere feeling. And then when you feel it again, you have that same pain, that same thought of, I don't think I'll get over this. But the only difference is,
you'll
but I know I will.
Yeah.
I don't know when. It still hurts as much, maybe even worse. But you'll be able you have a sense that you'll get over it.
Yeah. And just to clear it up, because the 3-year one, that was like the worst one. I had felt it with the girl from high school, but it was nothing like the 3-year.
Yeah, you fall hard, Peter. I gotta say, because when you invited me to the Blend Bank and we were talking a little bit about the season. I didn't think you were that into Hannah at the time, and you're just like, yeah, and it was so sincere and so like earnest. It was like you could tell you were at the time really affected by it.
Why you didn't reach out to her?
Believe me, I wanted to, and I thought about it. And honestly, again, everything happens for a reason, but it's honestly just like, I just was following the rules. That's literally all that I was doing. Like, and maybe I shouldn't have. Yeah. Honestly, like, I'm just being honest.
Yeah, that's true.
That's how it works. Also, in defense to Peter, like, there was a bunch of other shit going on in her life that even if the rules weren't there, man, that would have been pretty, like, it wasn't, like, imagine minus the show of falling for someone and then knowing there's like 2 other people in the picture, you don't know what's going on. Like, that would take some guts to be like, oh, by the way, I'm just going to put myself out there. Yeah, I don't really know.
At number 3, I don't know who necessarily, like, in their sane mind would think that's a good idea. Like, you actually, I don't know. If number 2, maybe, yeah, but I don't know. I didn't, and it is what it is at this point,
No regrets?
Tattoo that on yourself.
No regrets.
No regrets?
RAGRETS.
That's
It's been a crazy year though. It's like insane to think back. Like about a year ago is when all this started. Yeah, it's insane. All that's happened within this last year.
And who knows what, it's only the beginning for you, Peter.
Yeah.
I do have one question left.
Okay.
Sydney, what the fuck? I mean, I'm not questioning why you sent her home, but that was bizarre. Is there a story there that we didn't get to see? Because first she's the best kisser. You have this very hot one-on-one. And then usually if you have a one-on-one, you get sent home, like even VP, there's like this breakup, there's like this conversation, but it was if it was week 2 and you're just like, see ya. And she was also coincidentally like, bye. And then gone. And I was, huh? What's going on? Also, Natasha, good for her. She made it further than anyone who's never got a one-on-one before she got, anything there that we didn't get to see, or just, what happened there?
Honestly, yeah, I know that probably confused a lot of people, but no, I mean, there's really nothing that I guess anyone really missed. It was just, I know the comments I made about, best kisser, and people thought that was weird that I said that, and she was, and so that's why I said it.
That's not weird. Honestly, the best kisser from my season was a girl I sent home like week 2.
Who? Forgot
her name. But I remember I was like, I wasn't really that into her, and we kissed, and I was like, you are a great kisser. You
know what it was, I think, is I think where I was better at was I was better in the one-on-one environment than the group date environments. And
that's because you're a human being, Peter.
I guess so. And I remember I felt like I was getting myself into trouble because I would go on one-on-one. I'm like, oh, wow, that was amazing. And then I go on another one. That was amazing. And I would keep thinking they were like, they just kept getting better and better. And
He's
I'm like,
the perfect bachelor.
No, but it didn't help me out. It just got harder and harder towards the end. And I went on that one-on-one with Sydney, and we were in Costa Rica, and I had an amazing time with her. We had a great dinner. She opened up about something, and my heart really fell for her. And I was like,
words of affirmation.
Okay, there you go. And I gave her the rose because I really wanted to give her the rose, but it was just a point where at that point it's just a numbers game, and I had more women that I felt stronger for than Sydney, and that's all it was.
Yeah, and then sometimes.
But I get it. Honestly, I'm not proud of necessarily how like I had to say bye to her. I guess.
What do you mean? You didn't do anything wrong. I'm just curious.
No, but I agree. Like it did kind of seem, and I've thought about that since. It did kind of seem like it was a week 2 breakup, and it wasn't. We were a lot closer than just that. I think it was honestly just, I don't know, just not. I guess not one of my proudest moments.
Okay. Well, I think you're being really hard on yourself.
Yeah.
But you're a sweetheart. I think you're allowed. You're allowed to just not give him a rose.
Yeah. And obviously that's what happened.
It's totally fine. Valentine's Day is coming up, Peter.
Right.
You can't say whether you're in. Are you even allowed to say whether you're in? Okay, you can't say you're in love or not.
Right.
It's always different. I wasn't allowed to say. I was always pissed about it. I'm like, everyone, it's fine. I'm okay. I won't be shortly thereafter, but I'm fine now.
Oh, Nick.
But if you were in love,
yeah.
What's the best Valentine's Day present you've ever gotten? You don't like gifts. Because we had this debate going on the show that guys don't really care about Valentine's Day presents.
No, or presents, yeah, but I care about Valentine's Day.
Because you're a giver.
Yeah.
No, but for you, would you want? No, we found an article about what guys might want or don't want for Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
And sexual acts is apparently number 1.
Yeah.
Shocker.
And then I love this article. Closely behind are cards.
Cards?
Cards. And I'm pretty sure that if you poll 10 guys, would you like a blowjob or a Hallmark card for Valentine's Day? How is this like 6-4?
I am very shocked by that too.
Show me the guy. Be like, you know what? Could you write something nice? Actually, you might. You might.
Shut
be like,
up.
if you say something
Shut
really
up.
nice about me.
No, I'm not that weird. Okay, stop. That's ridiculous. Not at all. Oh man, I had some crazy Valentine's days before though.
What's the best gift you've ever given a lady?
You guys are gonna think I'm crazy for this one as well.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's the same girl. This 3-year relationship.
You don't have to apologize. We all got.
Yeah, but you guys are gonna actually think I'm crazy. I was flying a trip. I came from somewhere in New York, I forgot what airport, into Idaho, Twin Falls, Idaho. And this was for the weekend of Valentine's Day. I got in on Friday. I wasn't going to fly out till Monday. And so I had the weekend off. And the girl I was seeing, it was going to be, her birthday was on the 13th, Valentine's Day, obviously the next day. And I didn't have jump seat privileges at this point, which means I couldn't just fly on an airline. I was flying private jets, so I couldn't, I could only fly on that jet. And so I ended up getting out on Friday, and I rented a car at 8 p.m. I remember this. And I drove from Twin Falls, Idaho to Phoenix, Arizona, where she was having a horse competition over Valentine's Day and for her birthday. And I communicated with her best friend. I was going to surprise her. And so I drove, this is insane.
That's far.
14 hours throughout the night from 8 p.m., got in at 10 a.m. I stopped at one point, I don't remember where in the country, to sleep for 30 minutes at a truck stop. I was so exhausted. I'd taken 3 5-hour energy bottles to get me through it. I was so tired.
Oh my God.
I get to Phoenix. I'm an absolute wreck. Her like best friend sneaks me into her room. I get under the covers. Her best friend has her like for some reason go up into the room, and I like surprise her like out of like from the bed, and she like loses her mind and like can't believe that I was there. And I told my mom the next day what I did. She got so mad at me that I drove
Dangerous.
so dangerous, and she like made me buy a ticket on the airplane and go home the next day. I was like, I get it, but yeah, that was probably the craziest gift I ever gave someone for Valentine's Day. Literally risking my life probably to go spend time with her.
Appreciative?
Oh, super appreciative. She loved it. It was great. It was an amazing time. But I don't think I'd ever do that again. I know.
I hope that you are in love and that your fiance or girlfriend is listening to this and being like, "What the fine? What?
You gotta do this for me now.
You gotta do this for me now."
Screwing myself.
No, you're totally fine. Listen, you're a genuinely, charmingly honest guy, and that's why we love you. And honestly, that's why you get yourself a little bit of trouble. I mean, I'm defending Peter here, but like I think you're doing a great job. And mid-seasons, it's tough managing all these things. You're a guy who leads with his heart,
right?
And sometimes leading with your heart gets a little sloppy.
It does, and I'm learning that. I should have put my foot down a little bit more in some cases.
Do you regret that?
You almost want to, but then I'm like, I know the kind of person I am, and I'm someone that I give people the benefit of the doubt. I want to see the good in people, and So it's like at one point do you kind of like change who you are to help this kind of process work a little bit, more smoothly or not? So I made mistakes, but I like to say I don't have the regrets because it's just it's mistakes that I'm learning from. And do
you think you're a people pleaser?
Yeah. Oh yeah. And again, I think that's a flaw of mine, that I like to please too many people. For sure. But that's who I am. So
yeah, I mean, I don't think it's only a problem when it gets in the way of like changing who you are, right? And you seem to be pretty true to that. Like the only time it's really a problem if you're a people pleaser, when you start pleasing people at the detriment to yourself or other people around you. When you can't, like, you have to be able to say no to someone because, and like it makes sense why you're getting into trouble as the Bachelor, because in what other world do you have a bunch of people you're openly dating and it's being recorded, and they all have different needs, and your goal and your desire is to please all of them, all while pleasing yourself. And this is what we get. And it's fun.
It's very complicated.
But that's totally fine.
Yeah.
All right. So we'll break down the final four.
Okay.
Kelsey, Hannah Ann, Madison, and Victoria F.
Yes.
So I think Madison.
You think it's with Madison?
Well, every time you're always giving her extra stuff, like you've thought a lot about her. Like you're thinking about her when you're with the other.
You seem the most comfortable, at least this point. Early on, there seemed to be the most natural connection with Madison.
Yeah.
Where it was so early, and every time you were with Madison, you just wanted to like chill with Madison because you were dealing with so much stress that you felt early on. It seemed obvious that you could be the most comfortable. You could be yourself around Madison, and you didn't feel like you had to be the Bachelor. So I think there's a strong connection there.
I can see that.
His face giving it away.
No, Peter's been practicing.
I've been asked this a lot of times.
I honestly thought Kelsey was going to be your pick.
Okay.
Especially after her one-on-one. I think she probably isn't your pick.
Why is that?
I think she's sweet, but I think she is a little, as much as you love a crier.
The first thing that came up when I Googled Kelsey drunk.
I think
No.
I think it might be a little too, I don't want to say too much, but I think you desire a little bit more stability. Right?
Yeah.
And I think, I thought you might have picked Kelsey after a one-on-one because the way you responded to her when she opened up about her story,
yeah,
and then it reminded you of your parents. I think it's obvious that you really admire your parents, not only them as people, but their relationship. And it was like, ooh, I think Peter sees a chance to have the same type of relationship he has with Kelsey as his parents have.
That's a good point.
Ooh. And I'm like,
is she someone that your opinion changed after watching the episodes?
I mean, I guess with the Champagne Gate, I didn't realize how long that kind of went on for after I dealt with it with her for a little bit. It went on a little bit longer, but no, I mean, like our one-on-one was amazing. And then honestly, my heart really, it went out to her even more, seeing her have to deal with that stuff. Like I was kind of the idiot there when I gave her the rose when she came to see me in Costa Rica. I was not thinking that far in advance. I was just thinking like, this girl really means a lot to me, and I'm going to let her know right now. So I'm going to give her a rose. I don't need a ceremony to know that.
You're so earnest when you're just like, you need to have this.
But her reaction
because this
was
means
priceless.
my love.
That's what I was thinking. And her reaction though was just like, thanks. Like she realizes like I can tell she appreciated it and she loved it, but now she's got to go back to the house. She's already been dealing with all this shit.
It was if you gave someone like, this pill means I love you. It also might kill you. So,
that's so true.
Go nuts.
Yeah, I watched that back. I'm like, dude, maybe you shouldn't have done that. But I did, and I felt it in the moment. But what I didn't like, seeing her take on that stuff, I guess it was partly my fault. It just made me feel a little bit bad about that, But I promise you, she's a great girl.
Yeah, I like Kelsey. I've said this even after. She seems to me, if nothing else, a cool person.
Oh yeah.
Like romantically, may not necessarily be me for me or whatever, but I think I would be friends with Kelsey.
Absolutely.
I do think she is genuine and real. I don't think Kelsey can be anything but Kelsey.
She cannot hide her emotions.
Yeah, you
it's
get
impossible.
what you and you know.
But that's such a beautiful
Gets
quality.
a little
she
nuts
has.
sometimes, but like I think she's probably very loyal.
Oh, yeah.
And I bet she is like a pal and a very good friend.
Yeah.
And I also liked when Tammy was going after McKenna, Kelsey was very quick to defend her. When having gone through that before, a lot of people don't back up other people, and you're like, well, dude, I was there for you, and all of a sudden you just left me fucking hanging.
Yeah.
She was very quick to defend McKenna.
No, she was.
So I still don't think you pick her.
All right.
Tell them who you think.
Who's the third one we're talking about?
Victoria F.
Victoria F.
Emotionally, I think you need those words of affirmation. She doesn't seem to be very good at doing that.
Okay. Honestly, what's your opinion about the date there in Peru at the dinner portion? When she kind of walks up.
Well, I mean, you walked up after Hannah Ann, which, by the way, I don't like. Everyone's walking out of dates to that episode.
Yeah, that's true. I guess.
It's like, no, I'll be right
day
back.
of the walkouts, the dramatic exits.
You're fine here. There's no food you can really eat. It's super cold. But hey, whatever.
Sit down and eat your dinner.
What did I think that? I don't think Victoria S. She doesn't seem to be good in the moment about processing her emotions, right? Like,
takes her a little bit of time.
It takes her some time. What she seems like maybe is someone who has realized that about herself, because I think they did her a favor by airing, when like, I don't know who she was talking to, a producer, and like, you didn't really see her, but you heard her saying it. And she was just like, I don't know why I do this. He doesn't deserve this, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
I think they did her a favor by showing that, because at least showed a self-awareness.
Sure. And
again, I'm just guessing here, but if neither of them are ideal, but if the alternative of getting up and just removing yourself from a situation you don't know how to be poised in is to fight back and get defensive and potentially be mean, and I've dated people like that. I think it's a mature thing to just know, like, I just need a moment.
Too heated. I just need to get out of here.
And go away.
Yeah.
So, like, do I think that's ideal, and do I think that's what you like to see per se? No. But if I was nitpicking Victoria F in that situation, it's like the lesser of two evils,
Yeah.
And cool. I would personally I've dated a lot of people where they if they get defensive, they get mean, then they apologize after the fight, and I'd rather have someone been like, can you just give me a moment? And that's not easy for me because I need a communicator, but
this guy's good at analyzing people. Damn. All right.
What was your thoughts watching that date?
I mean, it was tough for me. Victoria, F was just definitely someone that, obviously she ran hot a lot of the times, but I knew, like, deep down there was I felt like a reason for that. And you guys will see that reason. Oh. And I knew that if I kept digging long enough, I'd kind of understand. And so, I'm happy I did.
Good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
Nice little tease there.
Whet our appetites.
Hey.
I don't think you end up with Victoria F.
Okay.
He thinks.
You say Madison. I don't think Madison. I think she's sweet. I've been hard on Madison for the genuine and real Instagram snafu.
Yeah.
I've said this. I've sympathized with her. I understand where it comes from, but I think she should have owned up to it. And I think she's been too I think she's at her core a very sweet and nice person. She seems. I mean, her. So the top two, my top two are Hannah Ann and Madison.
Yeah.
Both very sweet, both young. I know the storyline is that Hannah Ann has been young, but I gotta say Hannah Ann, I think you pick a Hannah Ann.
Okay.
Hannah Ann, I like that she showed bite early on. Everyone thought episode 1 or 2 she was the villain of the season. And I was like, chill out.
Just kidding.
But at least that showed that side of her. Like, my favorite part of Madison so far is the 4 seconds where she looks super pissed she tied in a football game.
That's right. This
sucks. I'm like, yeah, Madison.
I love that about Maddie. She's so competitive in that.
And I want to see more of that. I want to see.
Oh, you will.
I want to see the very unflattering side of Madison. But I think she again.
It's not unflattering.
Yeah. honestly, I love that quality about her. How competitive
I think you have again a bunch of these women who are taught to be proper and say the right thing and be very nice and show restraint. And again, like we're Victoria F. The sloppiness of getting up and going out, but that is, or Kelsey, right?
Yeah.
That's their authentic selves. And sometimes Madison is almost a little too like nice. I want to see that other side, right? And I got to see that from Hannah Ann, a little bit. So,
I totally hear what you're saying. I kind of though resonate a little bit with Madison because she reminds me of how I kind of was with Hannah's season. I was never a drama starter. I was never someone that wanted to get into it so much. And that's how she definitely is on this season.
He's defending Madison.
So yeah. What does that mean? I don't know. But I hear what you're saying.
I think if I had to guess, Hannah Ann. Those are my top two.
Okay.
If I had to guess, I'm going to say Hannah Ann. I think
I totally knew everyone's perspective.
You mentioned that she is the most goofy and playful.
Yeah.
I think I've seen the most layers from her. I think you're very physically attracted to her, and I think you eventually get her to like open up. And then she starts giving you the words of affirmation that you need.
Here come the words.
And here come the words. And I think you end up with Madison. I mean, no. So
Freudian slip there, huh?
Those are my top two for sure.
Yeah, Hannah Ann, though, she's probably one of the sweetest people you'll ever meet. So you guys... The top four are... Yeah,
I say you're making me rethink my guess because I don't know if you're just deliberately trying to throw me off.
He's good.
He's good. He's practiced because he's defending Madison a little bit and kind of being like, yeah, Hannah Ann, she's fine. She's cool.
I'll just say, with the top four, it gets very, very difficult. Very, very difficult for me.
Well, I mean, I'm glad that you are as confident and as happy with your top four as you are because that's really... Not to take anything away from the other women. That's all that really matters.
Right.
And the fact that you have to hopefully get engaged in such a short period of time, you should feel as good as you do about your top four.
Yeah, and this is, I guess, kind of where I'm okay being a little bit indecisive with the top four because they are such amazing women. Really hard decisions, like extremely hard.
It sounds weird, but I wish I had a harder time picking.
Really?
I mean, again, I say that.
No, you don't.
I say this knowing that.
He's like, no, you don't.
Yeah, but like, listen, Vanessa. We all know that Vanessa and I didn't work out, right? So not to take anything away from her, but I just was really focused on her, and I've said this before. There was a time, and it was pretty early on that after like my first one-on-one, I was like, it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be her, and I really tried to give Raven and Rachel, and I really had connections with them, and I thought very strongly about them. But Vanessa was always way ahead, and there was a fear for me of like, what if Vanessa leaves? And I felt like I was on the Bachelorette again. And again, I say this, and I have the benefit of hindsight, knowing that Vanessa didn't work out, but maybe I don't want that, but I kind of wish I would have struggled a little bit more. And hope maybe I would have been in a relationship, but that's selfishly. So yeah, I know it was hard, but maybe there's a silver lining. But before we let you go, we're almost going to wrap up. We're going to play this game called Do You Know Me? It's real simple.
Okay.
Rochelle and I are going to guess who knows Peter Weber better.
All right.
Real simple questions. Feel free to share an anecdote if if you're reminded of one. Okay. Don't answer right away. I'll ask the question. Rochelle and I will guess, and then you'll give your answer.
Perfect.
Ready?
Let's do it.
Question number 1. Has Peter ever totaled a vehicle?
Well, we know he likes high speeds, right? Because he's a pilot.
Mm-hmm.
Thrill.
Need for Speed.
Catch him if you can. I think he has. I think he's totaled
So just
a car.
to clarify, total the vehicle means he got in an accident and it needed to go to the shop for more than like a week. Or total. Or like they just totaled, right?
Total.
I'm going to say no. He's a pilot for one. I don't even know if he had totaled a car, how that would affect his ability to fly.
Interesting.
Okay. I think Peter's probably an excellent driver. He calls his car his baby.
Okay. That's coming back now.
Extra protection in the
quote of last season.
That's fine. I'm going to say he has not.
What's the answer?
The answer is I have not.
Oh.
I like to think of myself as a very self-driver. It's actually funny. My whole life, because I've always wanted to become an airline pilot, they're very critical about safety and driving records and whatnot. So ever since I got my license, I knew that I was being watched and
You knew since you were that young you wanted to be a pilot?
I knew since I was like 4 years old.
Aww.
I was gonna be a pilot. But I got my license. I'm like, I am being watched now. And so I can't say I've never gotten a ticket, but the one ticket I did get was a cell phone ticket. I was on my phone, but I've never gotten a driving ticket.
Never? That's insane. Wow.
Question number 2. Does Peter Weber have a LinkedIn account?
I thought this was a funny question.
Oh, yeah. He works for Delta, but doesn't mean he always has to work for Delta.
If he has a LinkedIn account, he's getting
Who else would I
asked
work
out
for?
a lot on LinkedIn. Delta for life, bro.
I think I still have one. I haven't logged in like.
You probably have a lot of people asking you out on LinkedIn. It's the new dating app.
Is it
say.
really?
That's what they say.
I think he has.
I
One.
don't
I
think
think
he
he created an account.
He knew since he was 4 he was going to be a pilot. He doesn't need LinkedIn, bro. He
I'm
has
gonna
the sky.
stick to my guns. I'm not as confident on this one as I have been on others.
Okay, what's the answer?
You know what? I actually do have a LinkedIn account.
Fuck yeah!
And it's actually, it was from a while ago. My first
Doesn't matter.
job applying for MC Aviation, and I saw it. Actually, someone tagged me in the picture recently. It showed Peter Weber, MC Aviation pilot. And I'm like, I've never logged into that once. I don't remember creating it, but technically I do.
Oh,
right, Peter.
MC Aviation.
That was
Yeah.
what we called a softball.
Oh boy,
Question number 3.
hit the curveball.
Has Peter
You can plead the fifth. If you
Weber ever used a sex toy with
Ever
himself
used?
or a partner?
Is that what it says?
I changed it.
Okay.
You changed it. I like what it says better.
I don't think he's owned a text.
Of course he's used a sex toy. Of course. Are you kidding me?
Well,
I guess
Too
it's
obvious.
Like illegal to like talk about this, right? I'm thinking for like employers. So okay.
we're sex positive on this show,
Yeah,
Peter.
it's all sex
And I know as you are.
It's not
as well.
illegal to use a sex toy.
Yeah.
You wanna change it to own?
Yes.
He doesn't own a sex toy.
Yes, he does. The way he lifts those girls onto the pool tables.
All right,
You don't like my lips?
all right.
I love your lips.
I'm gonna say no. He doesn't own it, but he has used one, and he might even have a favorite.
Well, I think he owns it, but he's not going to cop up to it. So, whatever
I
that
promise you, I would cop up to that right now.
Okay.
Nick really seems to know me really well because I do not own one, but yes, I have used one.
Woo!
And I was in
Were you
Do you want to elaborate?
I don't.
It was in the windmill.
No, it was not in the windmill. I promise you that. Nope.
Has Peter Weber ever been in an open relationship? Absolutely not. He is a one-woman man. He couldn't.
Maybe this tattoo on the hip girl, though, she was like, I'll stay with you if we open it. And then he did it reluctantly.
No.
So I'm going
And
to say
that-
yes.
and maybe that's when he broke
Yeah,
up with her.
I'm gonna
saying
say
this
yes.
guy is a one-woman man. It would destroy him to have any thought of that possibility.
Well, does Hannah count as an open relationship?
No.
Okay.
No, I could never do
You
that.
could never.
I could never be in an open relationship.
Man,
That'd
I'm
be
really
too tough.
losing.
You're like 0 for 4 right now. Do you not know me? Come on now.
I thought I
I guess we
did.
did.
Has
so.
Peter Weber been in more than 2 wedding parties in the past? Have you ever been in more than 2 wedding
More
parties?
than 2.
I think.
He's 28. It has to do with his friends.
I know he's still in the place he grew up. I mean, he's connected to that community.
Yeah, LA people getting
Yeah.
married later in life.
Oh, I say yes for sure. He's a friendly guy.
He is friendly. I would want Peter in my wedding party.
I would
He's
too.
loyal.
Definitely. Fun and responsible.
Yeah.
Yes.
Answer is
No, I haven't guessed yet.
okay.
Have you been in more than 2?
Come
Yeah,
on,
you've
Nick.
been in more than 2.
Okay, we guessed the same thing.
Yeah, you guys are right. Thomas Johnson, Doug
TJ.
DeVries, and Ryan Neely.
3. Good
That's my
job.
3.
You're a good friend.
Last question.
I got good friends.
Does Peter Weber own a power drill?
Mm.
And I mean an actual drill.
Do I own a power drill?
But he lives at home,
Good
so I feel like
tools.
there's got to be one sitting around that
His
home.
dad owns a power drill.
Yeah. Peter does not.
Peter does not own a power
That's
drill.
correct. My dad owns it. It's not mine.
Peter, thanks so much for coming. We really appreciate it. It's
Yeah,
been a
thanks
ton
for
of fun. I hope people at home enjoyed listening to you, and I hope that you realize just how lovable and charming Peter Weber really is.
No, man.
So take it easy
Appreciate
on
the
the
love.
guy on Twitter.
And I say, take it easy on yourself. You're so hard on yourself, and you're doing a great job.
And
And
try
we're
my
all
best.
loving it.
If
We're
you
enjoying
see
it.
Peter on the street, with his permission, give him a hug.
Okay, guys, I'm okay. I'm not like depressed here. or anything.
No, he's doing just fine. The guy was just living it up at the Super Bowl not too long
Yeah,
ago.
life's good. Life's really
his head's healing.
Any final thoughts, Peter? Anything you want to share with the people in this open platform?
I mean, honestly, I guess on that note, like just try to spread some love. Like more love than hate. Like I know this probably gets said over and over again from all the contestants and the leads coming on to this, but no one's coming on to this type of environment to do bad and to do anyone dirty. You know, people are lucky enough to get an opportunity to have an awesome experience and possibly go find love. And there's a lot of hate out there that I'm reading in comments for not just me, for everyone, for a lot of the women involved. And I don't think anyone deserves that. And I think for everyone involved, for the people that are giving the hateful comments and for everyone that's receiving them, it does better for everyone just to focus more on love than hate. So
Very, very nicely said. And just remember, you are not. You're seeing a character. That's who they are, but that's you're seeing a sliver of who they are. So if you insist on snarking, and that's fine. We all snark sometimes, but just don't walk up to them and say nice things.
yeah, I agree.
It's very nice. Peter, we really appreciate it. Rochelle, any final thoughts?
December 14th, 2014. Never forget.
December 20th, 2014.
Peter won't.
Never.
Thanks for listening, guys. Don't forget to send us your reviews. If you only, as Peter said, if you have nice things to say. Send your questions at asknick@castmedia.com, cast with the K. And make sure, for those of you new to the show, because you tuned in to listen to Peter, which I get, check us out on some of our other episodes, either our Bachelor recaps and our Ask Nick episodes that drop on Monday. Thanks for listening, guys. Have a great day.
Thanks, guys.